It's only match day 4 in the Bundesliga, and already we're being treated to a top-of-the-table encounter here at the Allianz Arena. First versus second, the reigning champions against the dark horses in this season's title race. It's Bayern München playing host to Bayer Leverkusen in a clash of the only two sides still boasting 100% records. The question is, whose will still be intact come the final whistle? Hello and welcome one and all. You're joining us here on Bayern's Webradio service. My name is James Surrogate, and wherever you are in the world, a warm welcome to you. And what a way to return to action after the international break in Germany's top flight, as we raise the curtain on Bundesliga match day 4 with a mouth-watering fixture with subplots aplenty as well. Both sides boast perfect records, 3 wins from 3. But the winners tonight will have the summit of the Bundesliga all to themselves. It has to be said, Bayern love a top-of-the-table clash though, and they are unbeaten in their last 20 encounters between first and second. They've won 14, they've drawn 6, but 7 of those wins have come against Bayer Leverkusen, who keep making a habit of meeting Bayern when both sit in the top 2. The only time Leverkusen have beaten Bayern in a top-of-the-table clash was back in 1986. The omens, therefore, bode well for the reigning and record title holders, especially as they're here at the Allianz Arena for the first of 3 straight home games, with the fixtures now set to come thick and fast between now and the winter break. For now, let's take a look at the team news, starting with Die Rekordmeister, because Joshua Kimmich has gotten the green light to start for Bayern, but Jamal Musiala is the only fit enough to start on the bench today. Thomas Müller continues in the number 10 role, albeit with Serge Gnabry instead of the injured Kingsley Coman to his left. Kingsley Coman out with what the club are calling muscular problems. Midfielder Konrad Laimer is preferred to Nusayr Mazraoui at right back, meanwhile following an impressive cameo in the role against Gladbach. Therefore, it's a 4-2-3-1 formation. Laimer, Upamecano, Kim, Davies in front of Ulreich. Kimmich, Goretzka in the 2 holding midfield spots. Sané, Müller, Gnabry playing in behind lone striker Harry Kane. But now we will be holding a minute's silence here in the Allianz Arena to remember the lives lost in the horrific tragedies seen in Morocco and Libya. And we will now be taking a moment just to reflect on those who have sadly passed away. Our thoughts go out to those affected. But as Stefan Lehmann, the stadium speaker, just said, moments like this, football becomes very small. But now we will remember the victims.
Dankeschön.
The pictures that we've seen all around the world are just absolutely devastating, and that is why the club, Bayern, felt it was necessary to take a moment today to remember the victims. Stefan Lehmann, the stadium announcer, is right in saying that at times like that football becomes very small, but we now do turn our attention to the action out on the pitch for the next 90 minutes plus, and immediately to rouse the crowd, the chant is "Stand up for Bayern." Big game at the start of the season. Leverkusen and former Bayern player, now turned head coach Xabi Alonso on the sidelines. It is Leverkusen who get us underway. They're going from left to right in their black and red kits. Bayern tonight wearing their new Oktoberfest-inspired kits. It's a lovely faded green trim with some pretty designs on it in terms of the floral aspects of it, a nod to the Oktoberfest, which does open its doors tomorrow at midday for the first time this year. But it has to be said, it's a glorious evening here in the Bavarian capital. Plenty of fans making the trip north to the suburb of Frutmaning, and now Harry Kane with a nice header up against Kosunu. Those two are going to tangle. Harry Kane has got a tough job on his hands up against Kosunu, Jonathan Tah and Tapsoba, the three-man backline for Bayer Leverkusen. Trademark three-man backline as Bayern settle back into possession. Konrad Laimer chased down by Florian Wirtz, thought about going backwards to Sven Ulreich, but instead advances the play down the right-hand side. Now goes back to Dayot Upamecano. You can hear the Bayern fans in fine voice here today. Plenty of them were enjoying a pre-match trip to see the new Gerd Müller statue that's been erected outside the Allianz Arena. It cost 200,000 euros. Right now, Victor Boniface, he had a bit of a tangle with Min Jae Kim, and I think he's trying to talk to the referee, saying that he's bleeding from the mouth and perhaps suggesting that play needs to be stopped. For now, it goes on, and that's a lovely ball over the top for Gnabry, who got in behind. Well, he found the space in behind Jeremy Frimpong. Joshua Kimmich spotted it. It was a lovely pass over the top. Unfortunately, there was not a lot of real estate for Serge Gnabry to work in. And he tried to get a first-time touch on the ball to put it back into the mix, but unfortunately couldn't keep it in place, so it's gone behind for a goal kick. And now Victor Boniface is going to receive a bit of treatment, but he has made the point to referee Daniel Schlager. Simon Rolfers, the sporting director for Leverkusen, is making the point to the fourth official that Boniface was caught with an elbow early. We're just seeing a replay of that incident. Actually, it's the hand of Alphonso Davies that really came across and gave him a good whack in the face. Not sure he needed waking up for a game like this. Victor Boniface, one of the most informed summer signings, or in fact the most informed summer signing in the Bundesliga this season. Right behind him is Harry Kane, and that is one of the subplots for tonight's game. The Gerd Müller statue erected outside the Allianz Arena, but tonight is about two star strikers, Harry Kane against Victor Boniface, the two most prolific summer signings. Chance brewing here for Bayern. Leroy Sané into the Leverkusen box. Back heel to Laimer, and a good shot straight at Lucas Radetzky, though. Had to take it first time, Konrad Laimer, from the back heel from Leroy Sané. And he draws the first save of the game out of Lucas Radetzky. But by Bayern standards, that was a tame effort from a very good opportunity. Harry Kane, ball to feet. First touch was a bit adventurous. He tried to rescue it with a second that failed to pick out a teammate with the pass. Now Jeremy Frimpong closed down by Gnabry and Davies. He's one of the danger men that Bayern need to keep quiet. Along with these four incredible summer signings that Leverkusen have made. Victor Boniface, of course, with his 4 goals this season, is taking all the plaudits, but Granit Xhaka, the former Gladbach and Arsenal midfielder, has made a big impact. So too Jonas Hofmann, who's come in from Borussia Mönchengladbach himself, and then you've got Alex Grimaldo, who's slotted in at left-back and really settled quickly, the Spaniard. Davies closed down by Frimpong, and then Davies, well, he tugs the shirt of Jonas Hofmann, and he's penalised by the referee tonight, Daniel Schlager. This is a game with so many subplots. Xabi Alonso taking on his former club, and this in a fixture that he once got sent off in. As well, a fun fact for you there, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned, we've got Harry Kane against Victor Boniface, but let's be honest, this ultimately, when you boil it down, is a clash of two teams that love to play attractive attacking football. And between them so far this season, they've combined for 20 goals and 128 shots across just 3 games. Right now, Serge Gnabry's got the ball about 30 yards out from goal, central position, cutting in off the left wing onto his right foot. Now finds Leroy Sané on the opposite flank. Sané, he's got Kimmich in support, finds Kimmich 25 yards out from goal. Diagonal cross looking for Thomas Müller, and Harry Kane fails to find either of them, but Kimmich is first to the loose ball after the Leverkusen clearance once again, and Bayern recycling possession well inside their own half. They're really pinning Leverkusen back here early doors. Harry Kane getting a lot of early touches, but he's being forced deep by the likes of Jonathan Tah, Tapsoba and Kosunu, who are keeping a very close eye on him. Right now, Harry Kane on the halfway line has just picked up the ball from Min Jae Kim. He's now going to look to spread the play to the right wing, looking for Leroy Sané. It was almost a perfect pass. Grimaldo just able to get his head on it to prevent it finding Leroy Sané on that occasion. to throw into Bayern on the far side, taken quickly by Konrad Laimer, filling in for Nusair Mazraoui at right back today after that impressive cameo against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Mazraoui was brought off after picking up an early yellow card as a precautionary measure, but Laimer really made a big impact on the game, and now Goretzka's looking to do the same here. His through ball looking to find Harry Kane, though, was a little too heavy. The angles were against him on that occasion, and Harry Kane didn't quite have the pace to latch on the end of it, given the fact that he had little space to work with there, the England captain. But you can already see there's something brewing up front for Bayern, a little bit of a different dynamic, because Harry Kane, especially against Gladbach, got played out of the game and got a few touches, but they're looking for him early here, and well, a cut back from Thomas Müller there was again cut out at the last by Leverkusen, who are living dangerously in these opening exchanges here at the Allianz Arena. First corner of the game now goes to Bayern. It's going to be taken by Leroy Sané on that far side, an in-swinging left-footed corner to come. Of course, it was Bayern who scored with their last corner before the international break. Matthijs Tel with that winning goal against Gladbach in the 2-1 win. This is fisted. Oh, Harry Kane's there at the back post. Bayern have the breakthrough. Flicked on by a Leverkusen player, and no one was marking Harry Kane at the back post. And when you do that, there's normally only one result. He makes it 4 goals for Bayern in 4 Bundesliga games. The Allianz Arena are on their feet for their new star striker. But Bayern have the early breakthrough from the corner. Just what the doctor ordered. And it's Harry Kane who delivers. Granit Xhaka lost sight of him. And well, from that position, Harry Kane was never going to miss. A simple header. And Bayern have the early breakthrough they wanted here against Bayer Leverkusen. A top of the table clash, and it's Bayern who draw first blood. Very interesting dynamic now in this game, because Bayern have been absolutely dominant in the opening 8 minutes. And now they have the goal as a just reward for that dominance too. Right now, Leverkusen, they were trying to apply the high press, but it's well released by the Bayern players. Upamecano and Min-Jae Kim both darting past the challenges of Florian Wirtz and Victor Boniface. Now the ball with Alphonso Davies just inside the Leverkusen half. Back to Goretzka. Every Bayern player except Upamecano and Min-Jae are in the Leverkusen half, and right now Leverkusen sitting deep, probably looking for their chances on the counter-attack, but unfortunately their game plan has suffered an early setback thanks to that opener from Harry Kane. A golden opportunity that he gobbled up. And for a 59th straight Bundesliga home game, Bayern have got themselves on the score sheet. For now, there's a bit of concern because Harry Kane just goes down clutching his ankle after a tangle with Edmund Tapsoba, but back up on his feet now and linking up the play to find Konrad Laimer with a neat first-time pass out to the right wing. Laimer drives it forward and now finds Leroy Sané a little further ahead of him. Closed down by Wirtz, but Sané skips inside on his left foot. Crossfield pass to Alphonso Davies, and first touch just skips under his boot there, Alphonso Davies. Difficult ball to control. A few oohs and ahs from the home fans here who wanted him to bring that ball under his spell, because had he done so, he did have time and space to work with. For now, it's a throw-in on this near side for Leverkusen. Frimpong to Andrich. Andrich pumps it long. Loose ball is taken down by Min-Jae Kim, and now it's worked to Alphonso Davies on this near side, the Canadian. The roadrunner, as they like to call him here in Munich, playing it backwards. Bayern forced to retreat momentarily. Leverkusen are trying to seek out their chances to press. The fact is, Harry Kane has now scored 4 goals in his first 4 Bundesliga matches. He has equalled a club record as a result. 5 other strikers, or Bayern players I should say, in the past have managed that achievement. Miroslav Klose, Gerd Müller, the 2 biggest names there as well, but Guerrero, Wegmann and Olhauser. Some throwback names for fans to enjoy at home. And the fact is, what a way to start this top of the table clash. There was a real sense of excitement, of anticipation in the lead up to this game. There was a bit of a buzz on the U-Bahn on the way to the Allianz Arena. Now Leroy Sané, lovely darting run through midfield. Unfortunately, his pass was initially cut out. Kane makes the most of it, though, to find Gnabry with the header. Now it's working well for Bayern. The cut back to Davies. Cut out only as far as Leroy Sané. He strikes! Just gets under the ball and sends it over the bar. Xabi Alonso right now is calling for calm on the sidelines from the Leverkusen players, because right now Bayern are having their way with the visitors. And some lovely football being produced by the record title holders as well. Leroy Sané. Neat dip at the shoulder. The shot a little wayward in the end. Jonas Hofmann closed down by Kimmich, can't turn out of pressure. Leverkusen, I think, right now, struggling to find the answers to the questions being posed by this Bayern performance. And in fact, so much of this first half has been played in Leverkusen's half. Bayern with 64% of possession so far. And they've won 72% of the challenges. And that is a startling figure. Leverkusen, they want to stand any chance of getting back into this game. They need to get stuck in, but Bayern right now are producing an exemplary performance. Thomas Tuchel, after that 2-1 win against Borussia Mönchengladbach, said the second half was more fluid and Bayern's best half of the season so far. Right now, they're setting a very high bar in the opening exchanges here as we approach the quarter-hour mark at the Allianz Arena. Sold out again tonight, no doubt. Leroy Sané is looking lively. Releasing the run of Konrad Laimer down the right. The pass just forced Laimer a little wide. The Austrian now one-on-one with Grimaldo. Has to go backwards with the pass to Thomas Müller, who dropped a little deeper to affect play. Now onto Kimmich, closed down by Wirtz. Back out wide now to Konrad Laimer, who's got time and space to pick out a cross. Instead, he tried to play a through ball to the run of Thomas Müller. It was a little too cute and intricate in the end from Bayern, but well won back by Joshua Kimmich quickly. That turnover for Bayern is something that they want to happen as quickly as possible. Davies right now just overrunning the ball, and Andrich now finding Hofmann into feet for Wirtz. Hofmann and Wirtz combining down this right-hand side for Leverkusen. A rare foray forward for them. But Min-Jae Kim across to cover the situation and put the ball out for a throw-in on this near side to be taken by Jeremy Frimpong, the Dutch right-back. Tuchel there on the sidelines, just calling for Thomas Müller to come to this side of the pitch and really narrow the play. For now, Jeremy Frimpong got past his marker there, Davies. Cross-blocked behind for a corner by Kim. So Bayern scored from their first corner of the game. Let's hope that Leverkusen don't repeat the trick. Of course, it was a corner for Gladbach that produced the opening goal of that game before the international break, forcing Bayern to come from behind to take all 3 points and maintain their perfect record. For now, Hofmann with the corner out swinger over the head of Kosanuit. Fell at the feet of Jonathan Tah, but he wasn't ready for it. Xhaka trying to keep the chance alive, but Gnabry closes the door, pumps it high into the night sky, clearing Bayern's lines, and they've moved the line up quickly to try and play Leverkusen offside in case they try and put it back into the mix. And you have to say, Min-Jae Kim there was really marshalling the back line. Great communication, and worth pointing out there that the South Korean acquitting himself well. Right now the ball in the back line for Leverkusen with Jonathan Tah, a man who received a lot of praise for his performances for Germany during the international break. Yes, they lost the first game against Japan in pretty emphatic fashion, costing Hansi Flick the job as head coach, the former Bayern head coach. You've got to think, to his final day, Flick was convinced that he was the right man for the job, but he gave up such a good thing with Bayern to take that Germany head coach job. You just wonder whether there might be just a touch of regret in the mix when it comes to the decision that he made to step away from the German record title holders. For now, Dayot Upamecano has the ball inside the Bayern half. It's fair to say Bayern, after that goal, have taken their foot off the gas a little bit, not too much. They certainly want to push on. It was certainly a criticism last season that they would score the opening goal but not really manage to produce a second. Upamecano for now has found Davies in the inside half channel, left-hand side. Back now to Kimmich, right in the centre of the park, 30 yards out from goal. Back to Davies in that inside half channel. Out wider to Gnabry, who's closed down quickly by Frimpong. Frimpong was really snapping at his heels there. Bayern forced to go all the way back to the back line. Upamecano now finding Konrad Laimer. On to Leroy Sané, back to Laimer on that far side. Laimer one-on-one with Edmund Tapsoba. Leverkusen and their players are trying to make their physical presence felt. They're just not doing a good job of it because Bayern are just passing their way around them. Now Gnabry one-on-one with Frimpong, a little slip from Gnabry in the box. Sees Frimpong just about win that head-to-head battle, but you can see he was just trying to inject a bit of pace into that one-on-one situation. Was Serge Gnabry, and well, you have to say Leverkusen have not released the pressure well, trying to clear their lines only as far as Leroy Sané. Now with Konrad Laimer, back to Dayot Upamecano. Upamecano picks his head up looking for options. Leverkusen once again with every man behind the ball. Bayern with all of their players inside the Leverkusen half. Muller, neat flick on round the corner to Leroy Sané. Back to Kimmich, he's in the first time crossing. Harry Kane loitering at the back post, but Hradecky plucks it out of the air, and probably had to as well, and then goes for a long ball for Victor Boniface. Route 1 football here from Bayer Leverkusen, and Boniface is beaten by Dayot Upamecano. Great defending there from the Frenchman. He stood his ground, read the play well to make the interception. And unfortunately, you've got to think that that may be the only way that Leverkusen really have any chance of getting back into this game. Route 1 football, Victor Boniface, go and chase this. But you got to be honest, if you want to beat Bayern, you got to be a little bit more intricate than that. You got to have a better game plan, and Leverkusen might just have thrown their game plan out the window on account of Harry Kane's early opener here tonight. It's interesting as well that they scored at their last corner of the game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, scoring with their first corner of the game tonight. Bayern, that when you consider the fact that their first 30 corners of the season, none of them produced a goal, and very few of them even produced a real threat. Right now Leverkusen have a throw in just inside their own half on the far side. Alex Grimaldo with the ball in his hands. Andrich under pressure from Muller, and Muller's got the block on the clearance there. Harry Kane now scrapping away, wins it well, tries to feed the run of Serge Gnabry. It would have been wonderful play from Bayern there in terms of winning the ball high up the pitch and then using just one or two passes to break down Leverkusen. Unfortunately, Harry Kane couldn't quite thread the needle. And then as Leverkusen look to push forward with Frimpong muscled off the ball by Joshua Kimmich, who gets a round of applause from the home fans here for the defensive work he just produced. But gotta say, Bayern looking so sharp here tonight. Big games tend to bring out the best performances from Bayern, and I think we're seeing that here. And Gnabry, they've won it well in midfield. He tries to release Leroy Sané. Sané lets it run, forcing him wide now, but he's one-on-one with Grimaldo. Tries to take on the Spaniard and just tries to dart past him. Cutting infield, instead has to settle for a corner on that far side. Will be the second corner of the game for Bayern, but as mentioned, the first corner was quite successful in producing the opening goal. Leverkusen behind for the first time in a game this season. Sané, another whip delivery, was very dangerous again, and Hradecky, I think, just about got a fist on it. Kim trying to keep the chance alive, and he's still going to chase this down, Min-Jae Kim, as Leverkusen look to clear their lines with Kosunu. Wirtz scrapping away, still scrapping against Kim, and well, Wirtz has come away with it, and the break is on here for Leverkusen. He's got Boniface to his right, but Laimer cuts out the pass. Wirtz still first, loose ball, and Laimer again with a challenge, and again with a challenge. Well, he loses out on the fourth occasion, but Konrad Laimer endearing himself to the home fans here at the Allianz Arena with the never say die attitude there as he battled away at the back to make sure that Leverkusen couldn't produce any real threat. Right now Leverkusen with the ball just inside their own half. Thomas Tuchel is urging his back four to push a little higher up the pitch and close the gap a little bit. Leverkusen fans up to my left, in the top left of the Allianz Arena, are making themselves heard, but right now the Südkurve to my right mustering up yet another chanting chorus. The drums are beating, the arms are in the air, the clapping is about to start. Nothing quite beats a matchday atmosphere here at the Allianz Arena for a big game like this. Top of the table clash, first against second. The reigning title holders against the team that many believe could be a dark horse in the title race this season. Right now they haven't really been able to find their rhythm, Leverkusen. There was an attempt at a 1-2 there between Victor Boniface and Jonas Hoffmann. Cut out well by Min Jae Kim. Of course, Bayern boasts the overwhelming advantage in the head-to-head record between these two sides in the Bundesliga. 52 wins for Bayern, 17 draws, just 19 wins for Leverkusen. But here they come with Jonas Hoffmann. Chance to pick out a cross. Unfortunately, it's too far ahead of Boniface, too far ahead of Florian Wirtz. But arguably, that is the best chance that Leverkusen have generated so far. The space just opening up for them down the right. Hoffmann picked out the right cross. Fortunately, Boniface and Wirtz didn't quite have the pace to get on the end of it. Otherwise, we would have been talking about an equaliser for Leverkusen. Now the Südkurve is absolutely bouncing. Can't tell you Manuel Neuer is in attendance here today. Just had a picture of him on our TV screens wearing a cap and all, but there was thoughts he might be making his comeback soon. There's a chance for Boniface. It's blocked by Kim and it's sent over the bar thanks to that deflection. Well, Leverkusen, 2 chances in quick succession. Harry Kane has already scored for Bayern. Boniface in the battle of star strikers, looking to snatch back as the corner's taken quickly, and it's actually headed behind for another corner by Thomas Müller, who got there just ahead of Robert Andrich. Leverkusen just trying to catch Bayern out there with the fast corner. But they are going to have another one now on this near side. It's going to be Jonas Hoffmann to take again. Bit of discussion going on in the Bayern box between the Bayern players. Thomas Müller talking to Goretzka and Kimmich and Upamecano about staying alert in those moments. Hoffmann, it's going to be another outswinging right-footed corner. So the good height as well. Tars underneath it, but it's just over his head. Joshua Kimmich has gone down and stayed down in the Bayern box, but it is back to his feet now as Bayern look to push the lines out. And now, I want to say it's Florian Wirtz that's gone down for Leverkusen. No, excuse me, it's Alex Grimaldo. And Thomas Müller is protesting his innocence here. The ball bouncing up at a high height. And, well, Thomas Müller did kick the underside of Alex Grimaldo's boot, but if anything, Grimaldo's boot was therefore higher than Müller's, so it's almost a strange decision. And, well, to be honest, I think it's the wrong one. And Thomas Tuchel does as well, because he's still talking to the fourth official. How can Thomas Müller be the one fouled when Grimaldo has his boot higher and his studs up in a more dangerous and reckless position? Daniel Schlager, the referee, not making any fans here. For now, Jonas Hoffmann and Grimaldo standing over the free kick. It is Grimaldo to strike. It's a great strike. It's in the top corner. Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to be beaten, you might as well be beaten by a stunning free kick. And that was a free kick of the highest order, ladies and gentlemen. It's a goal out of nothing. And the fact is, Bayern are still claiming that it shouldn't have been a free kick in the first place. And I got to be honest, I really think that the replay suggested that the assessment was right, that Grimaldo, the man who's just scored the free kick, was actually the one who fouled Thomas Müller and not the other way around. But Sven Ulreich couldn't get close to that. I mean, it's an absolute belter with a dip and all, right in the top corner. Up and over the wall. He got the pace right, he got the precision right. And I think the question now being asked as to whether there might be a check on the goal. But Stefan Lehmann, the stadium announcer, has just announced the equaliser. So goal stands. It's 1-1. And Leverkusen, having been pinned back for the opening 20 minutes of this game, have one positive spell for 5 minutes and have got the equaliser out of nothing. Now Bayern looking to put themselves on the front foot again. Leroy Sané looking for Serge Gnabry. They were looking to combine into feet there. Unfortunately, the pass went astray on that occasion from Leroy Sané. Bayern with 68% possession. They had 3 shots on goal before Leverkusen even had their first. But that quick flurry from Leverkusen, there was the Jonas Hofmann cross right into the danger area that found no takers. Then Boniface had a shot from inside the penalty area blocked by Min-jae Kim. And then the free kick expertly put away by Alex Grimaldo. And now some risky play at the back from Bayern, but well dealt with by Upamecano under pressure from Wirtz. Kept his cool, kept his composure, found a teammate with the pass. And Kimmich has now worked it well to Konrad Laimer. Back to Kimmich now, just inside the Bayern half, central position. Now he comes into the centre circle, does Joshua Kimmich. On to Min-jae Kim. Leon Goretzka. Haven't seen much of him in the opening 26 minutes and change. One of the few outfield players that stayed behind for Bayern. Thomas Tuchel joking about the fact that there were more coaches than players in training during the international break. He said that he used the time to even clear out his drawers and tidy up his desk. That was the luxury of time that he had on his hands. Something that, let's be honest, as Bayern head coach, he will rarely get. That's why there was a bit of a twinkle in his eye as he made the statement at his pre-match press conference. But he said his side were ready to produce their best performance. He said he was looking forward to this run of 3 home games in a row. Of course, Leverkusen first, then Manchester United in the first game of the Champions League group stages on Wednesday. And then next weekend, VfL Bochum come to visit. For now, Bayern with the ball deep inside their own half, trying to play their way out from the back. They've tried to allow Leverkusen just to push up a little bit. Now they're trying to break the lines quickly, Bayern, as they look to exploit some of the space that's in behind Die Werkself. Harry Kane dropping deep to affect play again. He finds Konrad Laimer a little further to his right. Harry Kane then makes a run forward, but there's no pass forthcoming. Kimmich gives it away a little cheaply in midfield, straight to Jonas Hofmann. Kimmich trying to scrap away to stop Leverkusen in their tracks as they look to work their way through transition, but Leverkusen now forced to play the ball backwards to Jonathan Tah. Out wide on this near side to Jeremy Frimpong. Big anime fan is Jeremy Frimpong, and it's a lovely battle of pace between him and Alphonso Davies, and it's a real scrap, but Davies comes away with the ball. Was the fun fact coming into this game is that the 5 fastest players this season are all on the pitch here tonight. Alphonso Davies, Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Jeremy Frimpong and Victor Boniface. It's fair to say this game will have a bit of pace about it, but it's got a real zip to it so far. 1-1 as we approach the half-hour mark. In case you're just joining us, it was Harry Kane who's opened the scoring with a lovely header at the back post, unmarked from a corner. That gave Bayern the early lead, his 4th goal in as many Bundesliga games for the German record title holders. But then, having really not been in the game at all, Leverkusen had a flurry of chances just before the half-hour mark, and after a free kick was controversially given against Thomas Müller, Alejandro Grimaldo found the top corner to beat Sven Ulreich. All ends up, and now there's a chance for Leverkusen again. Hofmann finding Grimaldo inside the box, forced to retreat to Xhaka, back to Hofmann. Bayern have gotten bodies behind the ball once again to try and shore things up in their defensive unit, and as a result Leverkusen have been forced backwards, but they've still got possession. Now back into their own half with Jonathan Tah, Harry Kane, the first line of defence for Bayern. Of course, the fact that there are goals in this game really shouldn't come as a surprise, given the fact that these two teams have combined for 20 goals and 128 shots across the first 3 games of the season. It's quite a remarkable return, it has to be said. It was goal difference that meant that Leverkusen topped the table coming in to this clash here at the Allianz Arena. And as things stand, he will stay top of the table tonight. And in fact, actually, with a 1-1 draw, they would stay top of the table come the end of the match day as well, because no one would be able to match their 10-point return from 4 games. Stuttgart, Leipzig, Union Berlin, Hoffenheim, Wolfsburg, Freiburg all have 6 points from 3. So they could close the gap to 1 point at the top. As now a ball through to Hoffmann. He finds Boniface inside the Bayern box. Boniface goes past Upamecano. Boniface, it's a save by Ulreich. He stood his ground there. The angle was tight against the Nigerian. But Sven Ulreich had to stay big, had to be strong at his near post, and was to make the save. It's been an incredible month or week for Victor Boniface. He was named the Bundesliga Player of the Month. He was named the Bundesliga Rookie of the Month. He won his first cap for Nigeria during the international break. He scored 4 goals and gotten 2 assists in the opening 3 games of the season. Only one player has ever won the Bundesliga Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. A certain Erling Haaland. As Thomas Müller is clipped from behind, but no foul given against Tapsoba. Chance now for Boniface. Again, Ulreich doesn't make the save, or does. If he does, it's a great save to tip it behind. But I think Boniface flashed that one well wide of the target, actually. And Tapsoba came through the back of Thomas Müller. And yes, he won the ball and got a touch on the ball, but he took a lot of the man too. And then Boniface, the angle wasn't quite as tight as the one we saw just a few moments ago, but he sliced across the ball and sent it well wide. 2 good chances now missed by Victor Boniface. And Bayern, I think, need to heed the warning right now, because we're approaching 10 minutes to go before half-time. And having been dominant and really assertive, they've really allowed Leverkusen to find a foothold in this game now. Frimpong back to Jonathan Tah. Tah breaking the lines to find Florian Wirtz. He's threaded it through to Boniface. He's onside. It's 2-1 Leverkusen, but the offside flag does go up. It was late, but it was raised in the end. Boniface thought he had his goal. They will, of course, have a look in the replay centre in Köln, but it does look like Boniface was offside. Just mistimed his run, went a little too early. I mean, given the pace that he has, he doesn't need a false start, Victor Boniface. But so far, it's been a fascinating battle between him and Dayot Upamecano, and I think it's fair to say Upamecano has probably just about got the better of it, but 2 moments in quick succession where Boniface looked dangerous, and now long ball forward looking for Leroy Sané, cut out by Jonathan Tah. Leverkusen winning the ball a lot more quickly now from Bayern than they had, but they've lost out here. Thomas Müller taking it off the toes of Jonas Hoffmann. Müller now fouled by Hoffmann once, twice, 3 times. I mean, how many times did he want to foul him there before Daniel Schlager was going to do something about it? Hoffmann gets the yellow card, happily accepts it, but I tell you what, there were 2 or 3 fouls in that, and it was almost rugby-esque in the end. He was pulling the shirt, he was pulling the shorts, he was pulling the sleeve, he was putting his arms around the waist of Thomas Müller. He was doing absolutely everything he could to slow him down. Thomas Müller was ploughing on, but they do get a free kick here in a promising position. Bayern, about 30 yards out from goal, right-hand side, almost level with the edge of the area. Joshua Kimmich and Leroy Sané are the players standing over the ball. Some of the fans inside the Allianz Arena on their feet in anticipation. We've already seen one cracking free kick tonight, but it was at the wrong end. We want to see one down at the other. And Leroy Sané is really looking like he's eyeing this one up. Oh, it's Kimmich who crosses instead, but it's Müller there with a header. Good save on the follow-up, blocked as well. Gnabry on the follow-up thought he had scored, so too did Thomas Müller with the initial effort. 2 big chances for Bayern as they fight back in this game. Now Leverkusen going down the other end. All of a sudden it's end-to-end action here at the Allianz Arena, but Upamecano, well, I tell you what, that's a bit of a physical mismatch against the young Florian Wirtz. Let's take a look at this again. Oh, Müller might just have been a hair offside, but the flag didn't go up on the far side, but he was in a perfect position to try and plant a header past Radetzky. Just got his angles wrong as he looked to put a bit of power on the effort. And then the follow-up from Serge Gnabry, I believe, was cleared off the line. by Edmund Tapsoba. So Leverkusen, just for a second, heart-in-mouth moment for them, as they almost fell behind for a second time this game. Not easy to claw your way back against Bayern, but they've done so to make it 1-1 here. We've got just under 10 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half. Once again, Leverkusen with every man behind the ball. But it's played down the right-hand wing to Leroy Sané. He plays it infield to Kimmich, central position. Thought about the shot, but closed down quickly by Wirtz, who spotted the danger. Kimmich now, lovely pass out wide to Thomas Müller. Takes it down on his chest. Back to Lima now. Lima having to cut infield as well. Back to Upamecano. First time pass now out wide again to Leroy Sané. Cross into the box with that left foot of his. And well, I tell you what, Harry Kane has basically been in a wrestling match on occasions with Odilon Kosunu. And right now, Kosunu is playing dangerously with the laws of the game, in my opinion, because he really is getting very hands-on with Harry Kane. And it won't take much for Harry Kane maybe to go to ground and ask the question of the referee as to what is allowed in those situations. For now, Bayern were applying the high press, but have now thought better of it as they drop their lines a little bit deeper. Thomas Müller, the willing runner. Goretzka now closing down Granit Xhaka. Bayern still with just one clean sheet so far this season. That coming in the opening day defeat of Werder Bremen. Boniface now one-on-one with Upamecano. Tried to pull out a few tricks, but unable to quite produce the magic out of the hat he needed there. And Ulreich had to scramble to keep the ball from going behind for a corner. And now Bayern, as they try and play their way out from the back, have lost out in midfield. Kosunu closing down Gnabry quickly. Right now, the ball with Tapsoba. He breaks the lines to find Grimaldo, goal scorer for Leverkusen tonight. And for Grimaldo, it will go down as his first ever Bundesliga goal. Not a bad way to open your account, I have to say. And when an opponent scores a good goal against you, you've got to give the tip of the hat as well, as Florian Wirtz now bursting forward. But he just let the ball run a little long there when he looked like he was creating a quite promising position for Leverkusen. But Goretzka then sells Sané short with the pass in midfield. And a bit of frustration now creeping in amongst the home fans here at the Allianz Arena, because a few misplaced passes are really preventing Bayern from staying in the rhythm that they did so well to generate in the opening exchanges here, where they were so dominant. We were looking at the possession and challenges won statistics earlier, and it was 65% for Bayern and 72% won in terms of challenges. It's now dropped to just 60% challenges won and 57% possession, which does tell you that Leverkusen have battled their way back into this game. But having gone behind for the first time this season, Leverkusen have come from behind to make it 1-1. Now Bayern playing the ball in between their lines at the back. They have taken a bit of pace out of the game, but I feel like they maybe need to inject it back into it to really get the better of this Leverkusen side, who, to their credit, weren't thrown off by the fact that they conceded early. Instead, stayed true to the game plan, and I have to admit, albeit a little lucky to level the scores, because in my opinion, in Thomas Tuchel's opinion, and I think in many of people's opinions, it really wasn't a foul against Thomas Müller that led to the free kick that then Grimaldo scored. Min-Jae Kim sends a long ball forward looking for Harry Kane, but it's over the English captain's head and he can't make anything of it. So Leverkusen once again back in possession. And I think that's maybe the big difference between the first half of this first half and the second half of this first half, in the fact that in the first half Leverkusen really weren't getting a foothold in this game, but now they have. And Boniface nutmeg on Upamecano and then sees his shot blocked by Min-Jae Kim. Florian Wirtz wanted the cutback but didn't get it. But I tell you what, Boniface is looking like a real threat for Bayer Leverkusen. Bundling his way past Dayot Upamecano. And not for the first time tonight, Min-jae Kim, the South Korean centre-back, forced to produce a last-gasp block to deny the Bundesliga's joint top scorer from setting himself apart at the top of the goal-scoring standings, with everyone else set to be in action later this weekend. I mentioned the fact that Manuel Neuer in attendance, so too Kingsley Coman, because he's just popped up on the right of me, to be honest, in the Allianz Arena, signing a few signatures now as he looks to maybe go get a half-time concession. The fact is, he's leaving before the end of the first half. It's poor form by Kingsley, in my opinion. Today, out with muscular problems is the official diagnosis from Bayern. Right now, Leverkusen, they had a corner that came to nothing just a few moments ago, but they're still on the front foot here. Jonas Hoffmann has the ball on this near side, looking for the 1-2 with Robert Andrich, but it's going to come to Frimpong. Frimpong does well to dig out the cross, blocked by Kim though, and now Davies. Oh, lovely play by Davies to get past Jonas Hoffmann and Frimpong. Harry Kane provides the link-up play, but under pressure from Florian Wirtz, he has to release the ball long. Wirtz, who I can tell you, Leverkusen's number 10, has covered the most ground of any player out on the pitch so far tonight. All given away by Leverkusen inside the Bayern half. Gnabry holding onto the ball far too long though. He almost loses out to Wirtz, but Goretzka makes the most of it, and now it's actually opened up for Bayern. Konrad Laimer bursting forward. He's got Sane to his right, and he's found Sane. Sane cutting inside on that left foot. Sane, he thought about the strike, still thinking about the strike. Gets the strike off. Oh, it's just wide. Radetzky was at full stretch. He was worried. In the end, Sane just put a little too much on it. Didn't quite have enough whip on it, and Radetzky, to his credit, gets fingertips to the ball. Something tells me it might have been going wide anyway. But a lovely strike by Leroy Sane, lovely passage of play for Bayern. And now the Allianz Arena are back on their feet for their players as this corner is set to be taken by Leroy Sane. They scored their first corner in the first half. Can they score with maybe what could they be their last corner in the first half? Min-jae Kim on the turn, and Harry Kane's going to be first to the loose ball here. Serge Gnabry digs out the cross. Muller's at the back post, ready to attack. Knocked down to Kimmich, onto Leroy Sane now. They still feel the chances alive here, Bayern. The question is, can they take it? Kimmich, lovely pass out to Gnabry out wide. He's got loads of space. Cross blocked by Xhaka though. Two former Arsenal players, never on the books with the Gunners together. Nevertheless, both with that shared history. Xhaka left Arsenal in the summer. Serge Gnabry left Arsenal almost a decade ago. Credits Werder Bremen actually with the revival of his career and ultimately the rekindling of his love of football. And the fact is, when he loves his football, he plays the game phenomenally. Serge Gnabry. Right now a chance for Muller to cross. It's an early cross. Goretzka's there! Oh! Good save by Radetzky. Lovely late run made by Leon Goretzka. A pinpoint cross from Thomas Muller and almost a second goal for Bayern. Radetzky makes the save. But after that flurry of chances from Leverkusen, Bayern have come on strong at the end of this first half. What they want to do is reward themselves by taking the lead before the break. Leroy Sane, two for company, but he's gone past two here, Sane. Linking up with Thomas Muller, edge of the area. Down to Davies, he lets it run to Serge Gnabry. Clipped in looking for Harry Kane, but again it's headed clear by Granit Xhaka this time. Min-jae Kim now with a big header at the back for Bayern. Tar repeating the feat. Loose ball to Kimmich, first time pass to Leroy Sane. He clips it into the box. Tar with his head to the ball again. Frimpong with the clearance, only as far as Min-jae. Knocked it down to Alphonso Davies. Good play here from Bayern just to keep the pressure on, maintain themselves on the front foot right now as we approach half-time. Question is how many minutes will be added on, but that's a lovely ball. Gnabry's in behind. Gnabry saved by Radetzky, and Muller can't get there on the follow-up. Frantically cleared by Alejandro Grimaldo as 2 minutes of added time have flashed up on the fourth official's board at the end of this first half. What a first half of football. I mean, this is a top of the table clash, first against second. Two teams that love to play attractive attacking football, and they are delivering a fantastic first half here. Bayern, in my opinion, would be more deserving of a half-time lead at 2-1. And, well, I'm not alone in that opinion either, because the Allianz Arena are once again back up on their feet. Leroy Sané to take an out-swinging corner, headed clear by Tapsoba, only as far as Lima. Oh, fist back in on the half volley. Sané first to loose ball, it's back in. Oh, it's dangerous. Oh, it's wide. Oh, Serge Gnabry, header at the back post. It was bouncing around, it was ping-pong in the area. No one really knew where the ball was going. Serge Gnabry gets his head on the ball and flashes it just across the face of goal. So close to a second goal for Bayern as we approach half-time. That might just be the last chance of this enthralling first half. But after Leverkusen came on strong for about 10 minutes, Victor Boniface, couple of half chances, couple of good chances as well. Bayern really have put pedal to the metal at the end of this first half, and I think in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the context of the whole 45 minutes, a 1-1 draw is not an unfair result, but a 2-1 lead for Bayern would be a more fair reflection of this game. But it sets us up wonderfully well for the second half, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen, as the long ball from Bayern all the way through to the Leverkusen backline. Their long ball forward now all the way through to the Bayern backline with Dai Upamecano. A couple of times that's happened actually in this first half, where both teams have actually overflown midfield. But there goes the half-time whistle here at the Allianz Arena, and what a first half it was, living up to its billing here under the Friday night floodlights at the Allianz Arena. First against second, Leverkusen in town against Bayern, and at the break it is Bayern 1, Leverkusen 1. Harry Kane opened the scoring early for Bayern, and they produced a really dominant first 20 minutes here on home turf. However, when they took their foot off the pedal a little bit, Leverkusen came back into the game, produced some good chances, but it was a world-class free kick from Alejandro Grimaldo that levelled the scores. Victor Boniface has had the most shots of any player out on the pitch, but hasn't really managed to test Sven Ulreich truly yet. What it does mean is that we're set up well for the second half. It is 1-1 here at the Allianz Arena. Join us again in about 15 minutes' time, when we'll be bringing you coverage of that second 45 minutes. It is not to be missed. Hello and welcome back, one and all, to the Allianz Arena here on this fantastic Friday night. A glorious evening in the Bavarian capital of Munich, and we're here at the Allianz Arena for a top-of-the-table clash, which, if we're being honest, has delivered to its billing without question so far. A fantastic first half between Bayern München and Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen top of the table on account of their superior goal difference. They fell behind, Harry Kane scoring his first ever header in the Bundesliga to give Bayern an early lead, and Bayern were dominant. They really looked like they were going to push on and get a second goal, but the second goal didn't come. And then when Bayern took their foot off the pedal a little bit, Leverkusen really took the game to the record Meister, and as a result they did level the scores, albeit from a well-taken free kick from Alejandro Grimaldo. But as I said, when it was scored, if you're going to concede, then at least concede to a top-class goal, and that certainly was what Alejandro Grimaldo produced here tonight to level the scores at 1-1 as we come into this second half. I can tell you there has been a change made at the break. Leverkusen have taken off Robert Andrich and they've brought on Ezequiel Palacios, the Argentine World Cup winner, being taken off for Robert Andrich, a man who has really been touted as a player that needs to be in the German national team, the type of gritty, battling midfielder that Germany are so sorely lacking. But his gritty, battling qualities here, where he did make a nuisance of himself against Bayern. Well, ultimately, Xabi Alonso feeling they're not needed for the second half. He wants a little something different from Palacios, maybe, who's more of a playmaker. And now trying to link up the play to find Florian Wirtz, but he loses out against Min-Jae Kim. Now Wirtz trying to chase back against Goretzka. Goretzka finds Kane. Kane heels clipped there by Jonathan Tah. No foul given. And while the protests from both the home fans and Harry Kane were quite firm there, but to claim that there was no touch on Harry Kane is quite silly in that situation, because there clearly was in the eyes of referee Daniel Schlager. Not enough to give a free kick the home side's way. Right now, Leverkusen coming down the right-hand side with Jeremy Frimpong. He's one-on-one with Alphonso Davies. A lovely one-on-one battle between these two. Lovely ball into feet for Jonas Hoffmann. Went for the back heel to find Frimpong, but the back heel just a little behind the Dutchman, and then the Dutchman, in trying to win the ball back from Leon Goretzka, ends up bundling through the back of the Bayern midfielder. And so it is a free kick to Bayern, and Florian Wirtz now goes into the referee's book as well. So that's two players on a yellow card, Jonas Hoffmann and Florian Wirtz. I can only assume that was because Florian Wirtz had one word too many for referee Daniel Schlager. The young 20-year-old finally made his return from that horrible knee injury he suffered 2 seasons ago. Had to be very patient, missed out on going to the World Cup with Germany to Qatar. Since his return, he's played 29 games tonight, number 30. 6 goals, 10 assists in that time for Florian Wirtz. There's now Sané. Well, he beat Xhaka, and a little cheeky nutmeg on the Swiss, and then the Swiss ended up catching Sané in the face, I think with just a trailing hand or arm. Now, Granit Xhaka is a fighter at all times. I don't think there was anything untoward in it, but he did just catch Leroy Sané, and so as a result, it's going to be a free kick to Bayern on this near side, right on the sidelines in front of me, dashed down to my right from my commentary position. Actually, I'm going to have a lovely angle on this, so I might as well try and capture it on video as well. The fact is, it's going to be Leroy Sané and Joshua Kimmich. Once again, the players that are standing over the ball, ready to try and take it, and who will be charged with doing so. Kimmich arm is up, cross comes in, Harry Kane attacks, but it's over his head. Gnabry first with the loose ball. Muller's in the mix, trying to make something of it. Up against Jonathan Tah, and Leverkusen will now look to clear their lines. Jonathan Tah under pressure from Konrad Laimer. Hoffmann can't skip past the challenger Thomas Muller, but it's out for a throw into Leverkusen on this near side now. I think Daniel Schlager and his assistants just trying to keep things calm in this game, because it really is just fizzling under the surface a little bit, as long ball forward from Leverkusen, well cut up by Alphonso Davies. Goretzka, neat turn in midfield. He finds Min-Jae. On to Dayot Upamecano. On to Konrad Laimer on the right-hand side. He had Jonas Hoffmann for company and goes back to Upamecano. Once again, though, Leverkusen with every player behind the ball. It has been a familiar sight so far in proceedings, but they're having to do a lot of running. Leverkusen, I can tell you, they've run 2 kilometres more than Bayern so far in this game. They've covered 63 kilometres to the 61 of Bayern. But when you are chasing the ball as often as Leverkusen are, that is a likely outcome of the way play proceeds, as Thomas Muller, little handshake there with Xabi Alonso down on the sideline, the 2 former Bayern teammates. But Alonso talked about the fact that his time at Bayern was a lovely experience. He always had fond memories of it, given the fact that it's where he ended his career. Right now the ball with Jonathan Tah, deep inside the Leverkusen half. Palacios drops deep to link up the play. Back to Jonathan Tah, though, goes the pass from Palacios. This one into feet for Xhaka. Neat turn in midfield to get away from Gnabry, now holding off the challenge of Harry Kane. Those two, no strangers either, having met a few times in the North London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham. The Leverkusen have broken the lines well. Thomas Muller scampering back, so too Goretzka. Wirtz playing it out wide for Frimpong. Frimpong one-on-one with Davies, tries to go past Davies and doesn't get past the Canadian, who stood his ground well there, really won the ball well. Did Alphonso Davies against Frimpong, and I have to say he really is acquitting himself tremendously tonight, Alphonso Davies. He's got a tough challenge on his hands against Jeremy Frimpong, who is a very skillful, creative, outside the box, dynamic winger Not to mention the fact that he's got a lot of pace to his game, but in a foot race, there really is no favourite between Davies and Frimpong. But Davies' positioning has really served him well tonight in dealing with the threat that the Dutchman poses right now. Kimmich dropping in between the two centre-backs to try and affect the build-up play. Ball with Davies on the far side now to Min-Jae Kim into feet for Joshua Kimmich. Oh, Kimmich given away to Boniface. Boniface goes for goal from range. Oh, it's in the roof of the net. From what? That must have been 50 yards from Victor Boniface. Saw Ulreich off his line. Thought, why the heck not? And I tell you what, it was a darting effort that wasn't too far away. Onto the roof of the net, but a few inches lower. And that would have been a rather red-faced moment for Bayern and Sven Ulreich. Instead, Bayern look to respond now. Muller. First time pass for Harry Kane. Harry Kane into the mix for Serge Gnabry, but the cross cut out. Bayern keep themselves on the front foot here with Kimmich. Kimmich strikes left-footed straight at Hradecky. And I tell you what, that has happened one time too many tonight. Bayern keep getting themselves in very promising positions, but when it comes to the final shot, it's too central. It's at Hradecky, and it's not really forcing the Finnish keeper into making some difficult saves. Instead, they're rather routine in the end by his standards. And if you're looking at Leverkusen, and there are many people talking about them being dark horses in the title race this season, one of the main reasons that maybe they can't be considered that is that Lukas Hradecky, in the eyes of many, is not a title-winning goalkeeper. Too many errors, too many moments where he unsettles his own back line. Tonight, though, having a good game, and let's be honest, if a team comes to the Allianz Arena and wants to take points off Bayern, one of the prerequisites of that performance is that the goalkeeper has to be on the top of his game. Boniface right now losing out in a wide position. As we see the shot, it was from virtually the halfway line. It would have been on target had it dipped just a little bit lower. Instead, just over the bar, onto the roof of the net. An incredible bit of vision from Boniface. An incredible bit of ambition as well to go along with that vision. Unfortunately, from his perspective at the very least, fortunately from our perspective, it didn't go in. But right now, this game, you feel like it's so finely poised at 1-1. Who's going to get that all-important second goal? Right now, Upamecano playing it to his centre-back partner, Min-Jae Kim. Into feet for Alphonso Davies now, inside the Leverkusen half. Davies turns on the afterburn as he goes past Xhaka and Frimpong. Just opens up the game a little bit here for Bayern. Now with Leroy Sané, right-hand side. He's one-on-one with Grimaldo. Palacios doubles up. Sané can't quite squeeze the pass through past Grimaldo and Palacios, and then ends up having the ball played off his knees by the Argentiner now for a goal kick. Down to my right, but a promising moment for Bayern that ultimately comes to nothing. I think Leroy Sané a little disappointed in himself on that occasion that he didn't make more of the opportunity. Nevertheless, you have to say credit to Leverkusen because they are keeping the lines tight, and as a result, they're forcing Bayern into misplaced passes. Right now, a few whistles around the Allianz Arena because Palacios fouled by Leroy Sané in the eyes of the referee. Palacios is up back to his feet. Florian Wirtz has gone down now, and I'm not 100% sure why. No, sorry, excuse me, it's Granit Xhaka. He's back to his feet now too. Maybe just a problem with his studs there. Now, the only reason there are a few whistles that foul just a few moments ago wasn't too dissimilar to the one between Grimaldo and Muller earlier, where Muller was penalised despite Grimaldo having his boot higher. This time it is Muller that's penalised despite Palacios having his boot lower. Not a lot of consistency from the referee today. Daniel Schlager is seen as one of the best around, it has to be said. And right now, Konrad Lime has won the ball well in midfield for Bayern. Sven Ulreich, long clearance. Muller looking for the flick on, but him and Gnabry were not on the same wavelength there. Gnabry had dropped deep, whereas Muller was looking to flick it onto a run made beyond him. And right now, the Zood Curver trying to get behind their team. A reminder that if this game does end 1-1, that both of these sides would remain in first and second, no matter other results this weekend. For now, Ulreich gives the ball away to Hofmann, on to Xhaka, through to Frimpong. Ulreich, big save. That's how you make up for a misplaced pass. Sven Ulreich gets a round of applause from the Allianz Arena. The offside was up on the far side, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. But Sven Ulreich wasn't to know that. It's all about the recovery. It's okay. Mistakes will happen. These players are human at the end of the day. It's how you respond to those mistakes. It's how you recover from those mistakes. And Ulreich demonstrating exactly how to go about that. Right now, Davies cutting infield off that left flank. Oh, lovely ball, Muller to Kane. Oh, what a save from Radetzky. And the offside flag has stayed down on this near side. Leverkusen players are looking to the linesman going, how on earth has it not gone up? Meanwhile, Harry Kane looks to the sky of wondering, how on earth has it not gone in? Should have been his second of the evening. Lovely interplay from Bayern. It's sweet, crisp, one-touch passing. Muller feeding Harry Kane. And you've got to give credit to Radetzky. Foot to the ball and a big 1-2. Bayern denied a second goal. Now they do have a corner now for their efforts. It's going to be taken by Leroy Sané, out-swinging left-footed. Tried to be flicked on by Muller at the near post, but Boniface with his head to the ball now. Wirtz comes away with it, and the counter is on for Leverkusen. Grimaldo, foot race with Sané. Oh, Sané! Oh, what a turn of pace there from Leroy Sané. Made it look easy. Breezed past Grimaldo. Has to use his speed in a defensive sense there, but it did so remarkably well. And that's the type of commitment that these fans here at the Allianz Arena want to see from these Bayern players. A reminder, this is the first of 3 straight home games for Bayern. Man United are in town on Wednesday, Bochum in town next week, but that game against Man United on Wednesday, big one as well. First game of the group stages in the Champions League. Bayern drawn with Manchester United, Copenhagen, Galatasaray. Man United, they finished third in the Premier League last season. Galatasaray, Copenhagen, they are not to be underestimated, both champions of their respective leagues in Denmark and Turkey. But I think the question many are asking as to whether Bayern can once again win all 6 of their group stage games. They've made a habit of doing so in the last 2 seasons. If I'm not mistaken, they've won their last 13 in a row. But now we're going to see the first changes of the game. Jamal Musiala and Nusayr Mazraoui are stripped off and ready to come onto the pitch. Great to see Jamal Musiala back. There was talk about him maybe being rushed into the starting lineup, but I think they took the precautionary measure tonight, Bayern, and rightly so. You've got to wonder who they're going to come on for. Maybe Thomas Muller? I'm not sure you'd necessarily take Konrad Laimer off. Maybe you bring off someone like Goretzka, move Laimer into midfield, and Mazraoui comes and slots in at right back. However, I am not Thomas Tuchel, and as much as I love commentating on Bayern games, I don't have an inside line on his decision-making. Right now, though, he's upset that his team aren't winning the ball well in midfield. Leverkusen still coming away with it. Hofmann 1-2 with Boniface. Hofmann collides with Laimer, but no foul given by referee Daniel Schlager. So we're just about to hit the hour mark here in Munich. Leverkusen applying the press, but Kimmich finds Kane well. Out wide now to Serge Gnabry. Bayern forced to go all the way back to Min-jae. Upamecano finds Leroy Sané down on this right-hand side. We're a good 45 yards out from goal, and Sané nutmegs Hofmann, goes down, but Hofmann... Well, okay, no, here's... right, what's going to happen here? So I don't think it's been given as a foul to Bayern. I think it's been given as a foul to Leverkusen. Admittedly, this is very unclear because Daniel Schlager hasn't really made the decision. Now, if this is a foul against Jonas Hofmann, Hofmann's on a yellow card already. Right now, we are having the changes. Thomas Muller brought off, replaced by Musiala. back from that niggly little injury, and Joshua Kimmich is coming off to be replaced by Nuzair Mazraoui. That means it's going to be Goretzka and Leimer in holding midfield. Goretzka has taken the captain's armband off of Kimmich. Mazraoui will now slot in at right back, but Kimmich, of course, who was a bit of a doubt before this game after picking up a knock in international duty with Germany in that 4-1 defeat to Japan. As a result, not going to complete the full 90 here tonight, as we do have confirmation that the Allianz Arena is sold out. 75,000 in attendance for this one. And right now, we had a very entertaining and enthralling first half. This second half, just as entertaining, but much more tense, because everyone knows how important the next goal is going to be. And here come Leverkusen. Frimpong combining with Hofmann. Frimpong closed down by Musiala. Musiala wins out against Frimpong, and now Musiala can bring the ball forward for Bayern, and he's shoved to ground by Granit Xhaka. Bit of an experience mismatch there between young and old. Granit Xhaka has been there, done that, seen everything in the world of football, you feel. Nevertheless, Musiala, with those fleet feet of his, makes himself a nuisance and a danger wherever he is on the pitch, no matter who he's going up against. Right now, Bayern have the ball inside their own half with Upamecano and Min-Jae Kim. I can tell you, Leroy Sané right in front of me. It is in a lot of space on this right-hand side, patiently waiting for the pass or the ball to make its way in his direction. Now it does. Upamecano spots his run, but the long ball forward from Upamecano was too straight, too narrow, and ultimately easily collected by Lukas Hradecky in the Leverkusen goal. But the angles there did not make life easy for Leroy Sané. Given how many chances we had in the first half, it's fair to say we have not had as many in the second, but all it takes is one. And that all-important second goal could be so crucial on a night like tonight. We shouldn't forget that it was a 2-1 win for Leverkusen the last time these two sides met last season. It was indeed the final game that Julian Nagelsmann enjoyed as Bayern head coach before he was replaced by Thomas Tuchel. So Bayern have a bit of revenge on their mind here tonight as well. A side against which they have a fantastic record. They've only lost one of their last 10 against Leverkusen here at the Allianz Arena, as they lose the ball in midfield but win it well through Leroy Sané. But unfortunately, all his corridors were closed there. In the end, he tried to take on about 3 or 4 Leverkusen players, and it was 3 or 4 too many. A bit frustrated that Musiala didn't really offer him an option or an outlet with the pass. And now Leverkusen with the ball. Granit Xhaka in possession. The Zuidkurve once again to my right is absolutely bouncing. Looks more like a mosh pit in there than a football crowd, but they seem to be loving life. But they'll be loving it even more if Bayern can get a second. And here they come with Gnabry out wide to Davies, and Davies just waited on the pass a little too long, and Kosunu took it off his toes. And now Leverkusen come forward. Wirtz is in a pocket of space in midfield, closed down by Goretzka and Leimer. Goes past Goretzka, can't produce the pass, and now Alonso is furious that no foul was given on Wirtz, because Leimer and Goretzka both nibbled at him in midfield. Now it's gone down the other end with Serge Gnabry. He's one-on-one with Kosunu, trying to get to the byline. Serge Gnabry cross-block behind for a corner. The Leverkusen players are still asking questions of Daniel Schlager as to how a foul couldn't have been given there on Florian Wirtz. But it's a corner to Bayern, and it's their 6th of the game. And once again, stand up for Bayern is the chant from the Allianz Arena crowd. The 75,000 are on their feet. A sense of anticipation again for the corner. Leroy Sané has already produced 1 assist tonight for the Harry Kane header, his first ever in the Bundesliga. And now we get a second corner as well. Will it produce the same result? Upamecano's up from the back, Goretzka to attack as well. Sané's in there, Upamecano with his head to the ball, just wide. Close from Bayern, and those corners looking ever more threatening. But in the end, it's the same result as many of their corners so far this season. It is a goal kick as a result to Leverkusen. High line from Bayern here with Jamal Musiala, Harry Kane, Leroy Sané all looking to try and force a mistake out of Leverkusen at the back. Radetzky under pressure from Kane. Goes long and, well, he puts it in between Frimpong and Kosunu. Initially, neither of them go for the ball, but then Kosunu does end up winning a throw-in for his efforts on the far side. Joshua Kimmich won 78% of his challenges before coming off. Interesting decision there from Thomas Tuchel to take off the creative linchpin in midfield, but again, as he was carrying a bit of a knock from the international break, precautionary measures taken as Jamal Musiala, well, he thought he was going to dribble through a few Leverkusen players, then loses out, but now he's got the ball back, now goes past 2 challenges. In fairness, a third though from Jonathan Tah was one too many for him, and one-touch passing from Leverkusen, breaking the Bayern lines. Now Jonas Hofmann can drive it across the halfway line, trying to find Boniface, but well read by Mazraoui to make the interception, and then Mazraoui concedes the foul on Jonas Hofmann. Mazraoui certainly doesn't look like he's lacking the edge needed to come into a game like this. In fact, he's come on and injected a bit of life into proceedings down this right-hand side for Bayern. Certainly a different dynamic on that right wing-back spot compared to Konrad Laimer, because Mazraoui has really made a reputation for being a marauding right back. There was the wonderful story, of course, we had the minute silence before the game today to commemorate the victims of the earthquake in Morocco. He and his Moroccan teammates, while on international duty, were all seen donating blood to the victims. Wonderful story to come out of a horrific situation. Well, the Oktoberfest, as I mentioned earlier, it opens its doors for the first time this year tomorrow at midday. Cause for celebration in the city, but the party atmosphere being dampened right now because Bayern are in need of a winning goal here with just over 20 minutes remaining here at the Allianz Arena, and I can tell you that Mathys Tel is getting stripped off and ready to come on, and well, that's normally a good sign for Bayern, because when it comes to Mathys Tel and his goal-scoring record, few players score at a clip that can match that of the young Frenchman, as Boniface now trying to make a use of himself in the Bayern box. Florian Wirtz trying to turn away from Upamecano. Upamecano just shoulders him in the back, and it's a lovely challenge from Upamecano, using his physical strength to beat the nimble Wirtz. Now Harry Kane turning Kosunu, or Tapsoba, excuse me, and Tapsoba is going to be the third Leverkusen player to go into the referee's book, picking up a yellow card because Harry Kane had turned him well there, and he knew it, and he niggled at him, he pulled him back. So it is a free kick to Bayern inside their own half. We've got a delay in play though here because Florian Wirtz has gone down off the ball. He's going to receive treatment from the physios. Just seems to be holding his foot. Now, we did see him engage in that battle with Upamecano just a few moments ago. I didn't see anything in it that suggested that he picked up an injury, but he does seem to be feeling the after effects of it. But now we are going to see Mathys Tel brought off the bench. He is officially the most prolific player in Bundesliga history, because while Kane is currently averaging a goal every 88 minutes in the Bundesliga, Boniface is averaging a goal every 67 minutes in the Bundesliga. But Mathys Tel, he averages a goal every 61 minutes in the Bundesliga. It's the best rate of any player to have scored at least 3 goals in the history of the Bundesliga. Tonight, making his 26th appearance, 25 of those have come off the bench, including tonight. And we're just seeing a replay again, and in fairness, yet Wirtz does get stepped on his foot by Upamecano, and that was why he was feeling the after effects of that challenge with the Frenchman. He is on the sidelines on his feet and looks like he's going to come back into play, but given the lack of protection that football boots give to players on the top of their feet nowadays, he will certainly be feeling the effects of that. But he is back on the pitch now, the Leverkusen number 10, someone that Xabi Alonso says takes Leverkusen to a new level when he's on the pitch. Florian Wirtz, meanwhile, has said it's a dream to be working under Xabi Alonso. And there was the magazine cover from Elf Freunde in the month of August, Xabi Alonso was the headline star. The question was, is he the best head coach in the Bundesliga? And can he be the man to deliver a title for this Bayer Leverkusen side? There is a reason they have the nickname of Neverkusen, or Vizekusen in German, which means runners-up Kusen. It's just not as good in English. That's why we call them Neverkusen instead. It's much easier. A better play on words. Right now, Bayern have the ball inside their own half. Kim playing it across the halfway line to find Mathys Tel, who for now is lining up on the left wing, it seems. Serge Gnabry is the man that has come off to be replaced by him. Serge Gnabry with 3 shots tonight, the most of any Bayern players out on the pitch. But right now, Leroy Sané looking to make something happen. Sané cutting in on that left foot of his again, about 30 yards out from goal. He spreads the play to the left wing. Mathys Tel, first touch, brings it down under his spell. He's one-on-one with Jeremy Frimpong. What can he produce here, the Frenchman? He goes back to Davies with the pass. Davies, change of angle, good cross, looking for the run of Harry Kane, but Hradecky once again alert to the danger, plucking it out of the air, and had to as well, because Harry Kane was ready to pounce had it come through to him. Interestingly, having started the game with about 72% possession through 15 minutes, the possession statistics now 53% for Bayern, 47% for Leverkusen. So you can really see that Leverkusen, after taking the chance in the opening 20 minutes to absorb pressure, really have come on strong in this game. And you feel like at 1-1 they might sense the opportunity to take all 3 points here and cause another upset. Xabi Alonso, of course, masterminding that 2-1 win last season that saw Julian Nagelsmann let go as Bayern head coach. Bayern want revenge. Only 1 loss in the last 10 here at the Allianz Arena against Bayer Leverkusen. Back in 2019, a certain Leon Bailey scored a brace, ultimately convincing people that he was a world-class talent that commanded a hefty transfer fee. I think it's fair to say the way things have worked out for Leon Bailey shows that performance against Bayern was a bit of a flash in the pan. There's no doubt he's talented, but consistency has always been an issue for Leon Bailey, and it's just a shame for Bayern that in that game he turned on all the style points. Leverkusen with the ball as they cross the halfway line with Jonathan Tah now. Palacios telling him to play it out wide. Tah follows the instruction momentarily, but back to Tah, now on to Xhaka instead of coming to this left-hand side, instead of going out wide on the right. Round the corner from Hofmann to Grimaldo. Upamecano across to cover. Grimaldo trying to wriggle his way from the challenge applied by Upamecano, and now another challenge by Musiala in midfield. He's penalised. The home fans not happy about another decision going against Bayern. It was a 50-50 there to be won. Palacios was trying to intercept the ball. In the end, it's a knock of knees between the two, but it's hard to say that one player was more guilty than the other there, because it was a 50-50, and Palacios collided with Musiala just as much as Musiala collided with Palacios. But now, Leverkusen with a free kick in a promising position, 30 yards out, level with the left-hand side of Sven Ulreich's box. Although I guess from Ulreich's perspective, it's the right-hand side, admittedly. So it's a little further out than the one Grimaldo scored earlier. It's a little further wide than the one Grimaldo scored earlier. He is over the ball along with Jonas Hofmann. Something tells me it will be a cross, not a shot on goal here, because they've got all the big men up from the back. Kosunu, Tapsoba, Tah as well. Boniface wants it short around the corner. Grimaldo does go for the cross. Not really dealt with by Bayern, but the ball comes all the way through to Leon Goretzka. He now is going to play it down the line for the run of Mathys Tel. Tel in a foot race with Frimpong, but Frimpong's going to take the better safe than sorry option and goes all the way back to Lukas Hradecky in goal. Hradecky has time. He's in no rush to play the ball out. Of course, a point for Leverkusen in Munich, their toughest game of the season. Certainly a positive result for them. And it would be a result tonight that would be enough to keep them top of the Bundesliga on goal difference, no matter how else results play out on matchday 4. But we raise the curtain on matchday 4 with this top of the table clash, and it really is living up to its billing. But we need a winning goal here, preferably for Bayern. Leroy Sané can't get past Grimaldo, tried to drop the shoulder, flick it around one side and go the other, and then Lima battling with Boniface, and Lima gets the throw in to go his way. The linesman took his time making that decision on this near side. Lima under pressure from Hofmann. Hofmann then gives chase against Upamecano as well. Poor old Xabi Alonso and his coaching staff, they are up in arms about the fact that a lot of decisions have gone against them in this second half. I talked about one of the prerequisites if you want to beat Bayern at the Allianz Arena being that your goalkeeper has to have a really good performance. Let's be honest, one of the prerequisites as well is that decisions have to go your way, and you maybe just need to have that little bit of luck that maybe can swing things in your favour. Leverkusen have had that on occasion, but not across the full 90 minutes, it's fair to say. Musiala, ball into feet from Upamecano, touches it off to Lima, under pressure from Wirtz, now to Mazraoui. Mazraoui back into feet for Musiala, who's just flitting between the Leverkusen lines, now into feet for Harry Kane. Neat first touch from Kane, muscled off the ball by Jonathan Tah, but goes down the ground a little too easy. Frimpong on the counter, looked to burst beyond Alphonso Davies, but Min Jae Kim was across to cover for his Bayern teammate. Just listen to the crowd here at the Allianz Arena. Sometimes it's just worth soaking in some of the atmosphere when the ball's been playing around in midfield. Bayern still in possession though. Mazraoui, he beats Hofmann, finds Leroy Sané, neat pass into feet for Goretzka. This was lovely play from Bayern, but Goretzka just a little inaccurate with the return pass from the 1-2, but Bayern have won it well inside the Leverkusen half. Davies looking for support but can't find it from the cutback. Now Leverkusen again with the ball, Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz has done really well there to find Jeremy Frimpong, and now Frimpong, well, he looked to use his pace to go past Lima, but Lima shuts the door. Brilliant challenge from Konrad Lima. And now Musiala caught by Tapsoba. No foul given. Tapsoba comes away with the ball. Goretzka closes him down. Tapsoba inside the centre circle, short of options, finds one in the form of Jonas Hofmann, onto Grimaldo. Mazraoui now going to give chase as well. Leverkusen forced to go backwards now with Palacios, onto Xhaka. Xhaka finding Hofmann. Leverkusen not ready to overcommit. We're approaching 10 minutes remaining in this game as Florian Wirtz and Boniface combining. Boniface, Wirtz gets it back. Florian Wirtz, it's off the post. Ulreich was beaten, but the woodwork wasn't. Florian Wirtz, head in his hands, he knows what a golden opportunity that was. Huge sigh of relief. The Allianz Arena, just for a second, went quiet. And I tell you what, there are some nervous looks on the faces of the fans around me. A lot of fans holding up fingers just to show how close it was from Florian Wirtz. The question is now, will Bayern heed that warning? Can they bounce back? Because that's the closest either side have come to getting a winner here tonight in the second half. Mazraoui now gives it away cheaply when Bayern were building promisingly. Wirtz closed down by two. Throw in to Leverkusen on this near side. Jonas Hofmann, ball in hands. But they just need to regroup a little, Leverkusen, because that was a wonderful chance. Ball with Hofmann on this near side. Florian Wirtz, I can tell you, is taking a drink of water down on the sideline. It has been an exhausting output from Leverkusen. And again, we talked about the distance covered. Still 2 kilometres more from Leverkusen, but they've given it away, and Musiala's in behind. Musiala, big decision to make. And Daniel Schlager says that Tapsoba won the ball. Now, he was coming from behind. He was wrong side of Jamal Musiala. But I think Daniel Schlager might just have got the decision right, because that was a very, very risky challenge from Tapsoba. But he used those go-go gadget legs of his just to outreach Musiala, and he did get a touch on the ball. I will eagerly anticipate seeing a replay just to see how clear-cut the connection was. For now, Boniface down the other end. Boniface with a chance to beat Ulreich, and again Ulreich stands his ground. Big save from Sven Ulreich. Sven the wall. And he might need to have him make another save here, but Davies with the header clear from the cross. Pushing the back on Tell by Kosunu, but no foul given. Xhaka with the ball for Leverkusen. Turned around the corner to Frimpong, now with Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz Cheeky little flick from Wirtz, little 1-2 with Boniface, but he doesn't get the return pass. Grimaldo though on the follow-up, shot blocked. Now the counter's on, now the chance is on for Bayern. Listen to the crowd, they can feel it as well. Leroy Sané, he's going through the gears. He's only got Musiala in support. He finds Musiala to his right. Musiala has 4 Bayern players in the middle to aim for, but Harry Kane the only one in the box. It's a deep cross and it floats over the goal and behind for a goal kick. So a disappointing return there for Bayern after a very positive phase of play. Oh, it's wow. We're just seeing replays of that penalty shout. I'm not sure Tapsoba gets as much of the ball as maybe the referee and his assistants thought there. Now, what I can tell you is guaranteed, because it would have been a potential penalty, the video assistant referee in Cologne, Dr. Matthias Jullenbeck, would have checked it. The fact that Daniel Schlager has not put his hand to his ear, has not indicated a stop in play, suggests the check has been done, completed, and they are satisfied that that was not a glaring error in the match. But we do now have a change for Leverkusen. Armin Adli coming on to replace Jeremy Frimpong. So not a like-for-like change, but it looks like there are changes being ready for Bayern as well. Matthijs de Ligt and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting are taking off their warm-up kits. This game, I tell you what, my anxiety levels are through the roof because I feel like I've been tense this whole second half. Given the fact that it's 1-1, given the fact that this is a top-of-the-table clash, first against second, so much on the line early on in this season. A game that really could set the benchmark for both of these sides. Bayern scored 4 against Bremen, scored 3 against Augsburg, scored 2 against Gladbach. Are they really just going to score 1 tonight against Leverkusen? I will be fair and give Leverkusen credit because I think they've come here with a very good game plan. But if you look at the expected goals, one team deserves to be in front in this game, and they go by the name of Bayern München. Bayern with an expected goals of 2.27 as they come forward. Tell looking to turn provider. Grimaldo doesn't get to the cross. It comes through to Sané. Sané goes low with the second delivery when that wasn't the best choice. Masraoui trying to keep the chance alive. It bounces so dangerously through the Leverkusen box. But again, there are no takers for Bayern in this faded green kit of theirs that is their limited edition Oktoberfest kit for all the season. The Oktoberfest, which opens its doors tomorrow at midday. I can tell you that Bayern will be once again doing their traditional trip to the Oktoberfest. But it won't be after tonight's game, it won't be this week. Instead, it'll be after the game against Bochum next weekend. Leroy Sané down here on the right wing, about 35 yards out from goal. Once again, he's forced to go backwards as opposed to forward, and he shows a little frustration that there weren't more outlets for him. And Thomas Tuchel, well, he gives him a round of applause, Leroy Sané, down here on the sidelines, but Sané is voicing his frustrations to Thomas Tuchel. Now he's on the ball again here from Upamecano. Harry Kane, again, the only man populating the Leverkusen box for Bayern. They're having to be patient, they're having to be methodical here, Bayern. Masraoui one-on-one with Grimaldo. Masraoui cutting infield, trying to thread the needle with a reverse pass to Sané, but isn't able to pull it off. Leverkusen slow to clear their lines, working it well through Wirtz and Xhaka. Composed, patient play there by Diva Excelf, and now Palacios inside the centre circle with possession for the visitors. Xhaka combining with Adli now. Adli with a chance to turn. He feeds the run of Victor Boniface. One-on-one with Upamecano. Boniface cuts in field. Boniface over the bar. Xabi Alonso was bouncing down the sidelines because he was ready to celebrate. In the end, Boniface gets up and under the ball, but you can tell why he is going to be such a problem for all of the backlines in the Bundesliga. He is a real menace. On the other side, his counterpart Harry Kane coming off his evening cut short. He did get his goal early to draw first blood for Bayern. 4th goal in as many Bundesliga games for the record title holders. But he comes off to be replaced by Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Meanwhile, Matthijs De Ligt is on in place of Konrad Laimer. So once again, De Ligt is actually slotting into midfield as opposed to centre-back. For now, here come Bayern with Musiala. He's got 3 ahead of him in green. Musiala, well, he's just holding onto the ball a little too long. De Ligt, though, first to the loose ball. Now with Tell, one-on-one with Kosunu. Oh, he's gone past Kosunu. Tell to Goretzka, 2-1. There's the goal for Bayern. Goretzka, with the captain's armband on, delivers a moment worthy of a Bayern captain. Last weekend it was Matthijs Tell scoring late against Borussia Mönchengladbach. This time, Tell turns provider, and it's Goretzka with his first goal of the season. Bayern opened the scoring late. Or excuse me, early in the first half. They might have closed the scoring late in the second half here. But a wonderful moment of ingenuity from Matthijs Tell to inject a bit of skill and pace into the game to beat his marker. And for the first time this evening, one of Bayern's cutbacks landed at the feet of a Bayern player. That man was Goretzka. And well, from that type of position, he was going to make no mistake whatsoever. And the celebrations on the sidelines were of pure ecstasy. The bench cleared. Kimmich was the first to leap into Goretzka's arms. Kane followed suit soon afterwards. But Bayern, in this top of the table clash against Leverkusen, might just be going top of the table tonight. Just listen to the crowd now. They are loving it. And Leverkusen aren't going to give up though. Ardley in behind here, digs out the cross. Grimaldo to Boniface. Oh, he's put it over. Oh, what a chance that was for Victor Boniface. I tell you what, the fact that he hasn't got on the score sheet tonight, perhaps one of the biggest surprises, not just because of the form that he's had recently, but because of the quality of opportunities that he's squandered. I mean, that one, a shot from about 10 yards out, no one marking him, no one near him, but he gets up and under the ball and sends it over the bar once again, as he did with an effort just a few minutes ago. But I tell you what, they are really in party mode now. This is how they want to get the Oktoberfest started here in Munich. And they do still have time to see out. We're in the 88th minute now of this game at the Allianz Arena. Adam Horschek is sprinting down the sidelines for Leverkusen as they look to make another late change. But I made it clear there was only one team that deserved to be in front here, and it was Bayern. Yes, Leverkusen hit the post through Wirtz. Yes, Boniface has now missed a couple of really glorious opportunities in front of goal. But Bayern fully deserving of a 2-1 lead here, fully deserving of potentially maintaining their perfect record with 4 wins from 4. It does mean that Leverkusen will lose their perfect record. But they are coming forward again here. Hofmann gives chase, through ball from Boniface. Does well to earn the throw in here, but Upamecano applauded for his defensive work there by the Bayern faithful down in the bottom corner to my left. This was a real test for Bayern. They've had a few performances that have left a little to be desired, and Thomas Tuchel the first to admit that, so too his players. Tonight though, but for about a 10-minute spell, I think they've really shown their class here tonight, Bayern. They have shown why they are the reigning and record title holders. They have shown why Leverkusen are just dark horses in the title race. And of course, for Xabi Alonso and his Leverkusen side, this was a huge test of their title credentials as well. This is, without question, the hardest game of the season for any team coming to the Allianz Arena to take on Bayern. A 2-1 defeat is nothing to be ashamed of. But something tells me the message from the Leverkusen players and staff might be that they felt that there was more on offer here tonight. For Bayern, I think they will point to the fact that this was a very professional, composed performance where they really dominated, and while their attacking play wasn't as fluid as maybe Thomas Tuchel would like it to be, there was still a real zip. 5 5 minutes of time added on at the end of this second half as Mazraoui goes with the no-nonsense clearance, pumping it long. Tuchel a little disappointed to see that be the option that the Moroccan took. As a result, possession now with Leverkusen. And I was describing Leverkusen having every man behind the ball a lot. Bayern doing it now, but now they've sprung the counter-attack. Leroy Sané, he's got pace to burn. Leroy Sané looking for a teammate, cut out by Xhaka. And I have to say, Leroy Sané had to be selfish there. He had the freedom of the Allianz Arena to run into. And by checking his run, he allowed Grimaldo to get back and recover the position. And in being unselfish, he actually made life easier for Granit Xhaka than he needed to. Leverkusen just went straight down the other end, but a long ball forward looking for the run of Armin Adli, all the way through to Sven Ulreich, who is happy to take a few precious seconds off the clock here. The long ball all the way through to Jonathan Tah. Thomas Tuchel calling for calm on the sidelines. Grimaldo bringing the ball across the halfway line for Leverkusen. First time pass from Boniface, trying to turn it around the corner, doesn't manage to pull it off. Sané now battling with Grimaldo. Grimaldo wins the header in the air against Sané. Now with Xhaka, he's forced to play it backwards. Time winding down for Leverkusen. There is a sense of urgency in their game. Florian Wirtz now finding Palacios. Once again, Bayern with every player behind the ball, including Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting right now. What a change of dynamic in this game after Leverkusen have fallen behind. Because Bayern are now playing like Leverkusen have all day, and Leverkusen are playing like Bayern. They're the one on the front foot, they're the one dominating, and Bayern are sitting deep trying to absorb pressure. Davies almost loses out against Hoffmann, but Hoffmann's gone down injured for now. Play goes on. Kosanu trying to dance his way into the Bayern box, and he's earned his side a corner here. But I tell you what, Hoffmann has gone down, stayed down, and does not look like he's going to be able to continue here. And I'll tell you what, they can whistle. The Allianz Arena can whistle, but like Hoffmann gains nothing here from wasting time because his side are 2-1 down, and we're into injury time. There's not much left of it. Hoffmann has still stayed down. What I can't work out as to whether it's a muscular problem, that maybe he slipped and pulled a muscle. I can't tell whether he got stood on by Alphonso Davies in the mix. Nevertheless, it is a corner to Leverkusen on that far side. For some reason, what I can't understand... Oh dear. Referee Daniel Schlager has indicated he's going to go have a look at the monitor. The VAR signal has been made, and this could mean that he's looking at a potential penalty incident involving Jonas Hoffmann and Alphonso Davies. And I tell you what, he might be pointing to the spot here, and he does. Leverkusen have a penalty. It was a tangle of legs. This wasn't a clumsy challenge by Alphonso Davies, but it was a 50-50 ball in the Bayern penalty area, and there was a tangle of legs, and Alphonso Davies ultimately tangled with Hoffmann. Hoffmann goes down in the box. It's a penalty to Leverkusen. And the man stepping up to take it is Ezequiel Palacios. Just listen to the whistles. Just listen to the whistles, ladies and gents. Ezequiel Palacios, the Argentine World Cup winner, beats Ulreich. It's 2-2. Leverkusen have a late equaliser. This top of the table clash has a late twist in it, and it's a twist that goes against Bayern. Palacios, who scored 2 penalties against Bayern in that 2-1 win last season. You might remember Armin Adli, twice penalised for diving, twice had the decision rescinded, overturned and turned into a penalty, and twice Ezequiel Palacios stepped up to score from the spot. He's done the exact same thing again here tonight, and I'm not sure there's going to be time left in this game for Bayern to find a winner. And so when they thought they'd produced a late winner, they are now pegged back late on. Well, the Leverkusen fans to my top left are absolutely rocking now. A reminder then that Leverkusen will stay top of the table. Bayern will still be level on points with them. 10 points from 4 games not a bad return, but 3 points were what Bayern wanted today. Let's make no mistake about that. And they felt they had 3 points in their hands. And now potentially denied at the last. Two controversial decisions going in Leverkusen's favour. The first, the free kick that was scored by Grimaldo. The second, the penalty, though admittedly for me, the penalty far less controversial than the free kick. Bayern now trying to fashion a chance here. Just a couple of minutes of injury time remaining. Musiala. Goretzka finding Matisse Tell inside the Leverkusen box. Tell's first touch just a little heavy. Jonathan Tah beats him to the ball as a result. Long ball forward looking for Boniface all the way through to Upamecano. Auf geht's Bayern, schießt ein Tor. Let's go Bayern, score a goal is the chant from the Südkurve in the Allianz Arena. Tah with a commanding header at the back for Leverkusen. Long ball forward. Kloschek gives chase against Upamecano. Upamecano has to go back to Ulreich, but Ulreich has to get this going long. Has to find a teammate. Musiala with the flick on to Leroy Sané. Brings it down on his chest. Lovely control by Leroy Sané, but then Amiri takes it off his toes. One back by Sané. Then it's Grimaldo that takes it off his toes. Goretzka to Min-Jae Kim. The roar goes louder inside the Allianz Arena. Kim to Davies. Bayern need this in the final third if they want to fashion one more chance. Here's Musiala, the clutch winner from last season that delivered the title. He finds Tell. Now the Davies round the corner. Davies cut back. Is cut out by Palacios, but it's behind for a corner. There is one more corner. There is one more chance in this game for Bayern. Could it be that there is one last twist in this tale of this compelling encounter? Leroy Sané is going to take it. The fans are up on their feet. This has to be the final chance of the game. It's going to be an outswinger from Leroy Sané. Plenty of bodies in there, but no one gets their head to the ball. Musiala keeping the chance alive. Goretzka flicks it down. Upamecano! Upamecano! Oh, the offside flag is up. The offside flag is up. Bayern are denied at the last. Bayern are denied what would have been a winner. And now we wait to see. At the replay show, it was offside. It was offside. A clear decision. Unfortunately, nothing to debate. There is going to be a check. That's why we're waiting. I'll tell you what, the tension and the anxiety, the nerves are absolutely jangled here in the Allianz Arena. But it's not going to be a goal. Video assist says that it was indeed offside. So the goal does not count. Oh, it would have been high drama here at the Allianz Arena. You would have absolutely loved it. The final whistle goes in this top-of-the-table clash. It went back and forth, entertainment value pure. But in the end, Leverkusen twice come from behind to thwart Bayern and take a share of the spoils. As a result, Leverkusen stay top of the table with 10 points. Their goal difference keeps them above Bayern, who will stay in second no matter results this weekend. But Bayern will have felt that this was a chance lost. They were 2-1 up late on, and in the end they dropped points in a 2-2 draw. But I tell you what, Friday night floodlights they were on, top of the table clash. We were so excited for it, and while it wasn't the result that Bayern were looking for, it was an encounter to be enjoyed. There's a reason that Leverkusen are seen as dark horses in the title race this season. I think they underlined why tonight. But there's also a reason that Bayern aren't quite in top gear yet this season. And it was almost enough to take 3 points against this spirited and aggressive Leverkusen side. They will be disappointed that they have to settle for a 2-2 draw. Not the return from the international break they were hoping for. Not the start to this run of 3 straight home games. Next up is Manchester United here on Wednesday, then Bochum next weekend. The Südkurve applauding their stars despite the result. But today was a day where a few things went against Bayern, and it proved costly on the score sheet. James Sogard, your match commentator, thank you for joining us here at the Allianz Arena. The final score, though, is Bayern 2, Leverkusen 2, as Leverkusen stay top of the table and Bayern once again have to settle for finishing the match day in second place.